Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your mid-January 2021 love reading. My name is Gemstone and I have a lot of chunky gemstones, so you might hear this a lot in this video. My name is Gemstone and I will be doing your reading for you. I'm going to change what we're listening to so that it's something more heart-centered, because I'm feeling the vibes that you are in need of some TLC of the heart. Let's see what this is. Yes. It's like I'm just getting right into it and I feel like I have an explanation, but this is so true. It's like talking to me. The Four of Swords is the energy of, one of the manifestations of this or interpretations of this is meditation, taking time to withdraw and get to know how you feel. I feel like there is a need for you to come out of this three-dimensional world and get into the world of your emotions. And I know for earth signs that just sounds like a nightmare to get into your feelings. But I feel that that is really necessary for you at this time, or it could be so helpful. It could be so helpful. And not to mention, your ruling planet Saturn is now in Aquarius. The swords, because the card was the Four of Swords. The swords represents air energy. I could feel that there's more thinking happening. There's more calculations that I'm getting, like a Virgo vibe. Anyway, that's just a side note. What we're gonna do today is something similar to what I did at the beginning of January. So what I did for this month was look at the energy that you were coming out of for the last 365 days. We understand here that time is a construct within this three-dimensional realm, but we're using it to our advantage right now, to our benefit. So we're looking at the energy that you were coming out of for the last 365 days. And then we also looked at the energy that you were moving into. That was just general guidance. So today what we're gonna do is exactly that with different oracle cards and a tarot deck to see the energy that you're coming out of romantically, specifically romantically, and then the energy that you're moving into romantically. We're going to pull one tarot card to represent just the overall state, an oracle card to represent your emotional state, and another oracle card to give us more insight into the relationship state, like the actual state of whatever relationship or affair that you are in or not in. Now down in the down in the description box below, I will be putting a tarot scope. I've created these things called tarot scopes. It dawned on me, you're getting a lot of fours. You're getting a lot of fours. I feel like there's this need for stability on your end, and it feels very rooted in just external stability and security. I feel like you're looking at relationships not from an emotional standpoint, but from a practical standpoint. Maybe this resonates with some Capricorns, maybe not all, but the energy that I'm feeling is not emotional. It's just more calculated. It's more practical. And I feel because of that, it's having you look to someone else to regulate yourself as opposed to the other, like you regulating yourself on your own. But anyways, that was an overwhelming feeling. With this, the Four of Cups, this physically looks like a person meditating. And it's like the energy of maybe mixing your energy with someone else is not what's best for you at this time. This really resonates with what I interrupted myself about. So down in the description box below, I'm putting tarot scopes. It's like a tarot horoscope. In order for me to connect with your energy, I do a meditation and a tarot card reading right before this reading, and I use the same deck so that the energy is brought in, just so that we can foster more understanding. But what happens sometimes is what's in the tarot scope doesn't necessarily correlate obviously with what's happening in this reading. So if it's an obvious correlation, I'll bring it up. If it's not, you can just look down there to that for further context, or just a different, completely different reading. A reading within a reading is what I've been calling it. Now at 5 minutes, I'm going to place a card, and the card is just that whoosh, for your January reading. It will happen now. This card is just the January reading where we looked at the energy that you're coming out of and moving into. So that's that. All right, let's get started, Capricorn. What energy? Oh, felt it. Okay, felt it. I felt it. The King of Swords is the energy that you're coming out of. And this feels so frosty. It feels so frosty. 8 of Swords at the bottom. As I mentioned, the swords represents the air element in the tarot. And air is mental. It is communicative. And I feel like this energy is you in your head. This is you in your head. And then look at, yeah, this feels like, and then another 8 at the bottom. So we had a series of 4s and now 2 8s. Very interesting. A very interesting space to be in. But this feels like someone overthinking something. Someone overthinking something. Someone in their mind about something that maybe they should be meeting with their heart. Back to that energy of pragmatic. Doing what sounds right, and Judgment is at the bottom of the deck. I'm showing this to you because it feels like that. It feels like there's judgment towards yourself, and because of that, it's being projected towards those around you. It just feels like the absence of compassion and empathy, and that would be a helpful tool for you at this time to navigate yourself through whatever it is that you're going through. And maybe you were rejected, and this is why you are in this kind of cold, aloof state, being the King of Swords. Or on one side, it's like rejection, or maybe you have a decision to make and that is challenging for you to do at this time. All right. So the energy that we're coming out of, or you're coming out of emotionally, is indecision. See? So I said see to the judgment, to the decision. And judgment at times can be seen as a decision, like you're placing a judgment, you're making a decision. But yeah, indecision says, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. And I feel like this is what was not being connected with. 2 stories here. We have one that needs to make a decision and is having a tough time doing so because they're spending a lot of time in their mind and looking at things from a tit-for-tat perspective. I feel like there's a lack of forgiveness here. And then on the other end, there is exactly this same energy but directed towards yourself because you were rejected. You were rejected. And the indecision is what to do now, is what I'm feeling. What to do now. And while you try to navigate yourself through this space, I feel like there is harshness being extended towards yourself from yourself. It doesn't feel very kind towards you. And it feels like it's coming from you. Let me move this out of the way. What we're going to do, and at the bottom of the deck, we have loneliness. Loneliness reads, I know that I am never alone. So I feel, going back to that pragmatic, I feel like the indecision is whether you should feel hurt about this or not, because it feels like you didn't want the person to begin with. It's just something to do. It's just something that's practical. It's just something that's right. It's not something that meets your heart and makes you feel vulnerable in a way that gives you butterflies. And I wouldn't be surprised if at this time in life, you forgot what that feels like. What we're going to look at is more of the love situation that you're coming out of with this oracle deck. A fiery climax approaches. So what I feel with the fiery climax approaches, the full moon in Aries, was there was a situation that was brought to a culmination, to a climax. And that climax was, it feels like an ultimatum, and indecision, it feels like an ultimatum. Something had to be chosen. It was like a this or that type of situation. And the result of that has left you in a space where You're blaming yourself or you're blaming the other. In both situations, they don't feel very good. One where you're not so sure where to go. And the reason why you're not so sure where to go is because you're blaming this other person for doing something and it's their fault in your mind. Or you feel rejected. It's not what you wanted, but somehow you're wondering, should I feel bad about this? It just feels like something to do. It feels like just something to do. Going back to the loneliness, it just feels like something to do. And beneath loneliness, we have relationships. It says, I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Exactly. This feels like a reminder, a necessary one, because at this time it feels like something to do. It doesn't feel like something that you're actually committed to. At the bottom of the deck that we used for the relationship, we have a new moon in Scorpio. It says, work through your fears. I feel like that is the opportunity to ask an important question, Capricorn. Why are you afraid of loneliness? Are you afraid of loneliness because you are scared to be alone? And you're scared that maybe you won't be able to survive on your own? Are you scared of loneliness because you feel like you'll never get the love that you are looking for? Are you scared of loneliness because you just don't want to be with yourself? Let's look at the energy that you're moving into. What energy is... Oh, yes. That's beautiful. And here we have the Tower at the bottom. So I know that getting to this state is going to be... sorry if that was loud. Getting to this state of the Queen of Wands, a confident, fierce energy. Getting to the state of going after what you want, but it starts internally, knowing that you deserve it, knowing that it belongs to you, knowing that you worked hard for it and this is yours. Getting to this state is going to bring out the infection that is negative thinking, self-limiting beliefs, and it might even result in an actual confrontation, some form of, because we have the climax, a climax, and then we actually have the explosion with the Tower, and I'm feeling that more than the revelation. It feels like a clash that is going to bring out your true feelings because it's being concealed with the King of Wands. I mean, the King of Swords. What's nice to see is the fact that you are a king and a queen, like you're still in the same tier of maturity. The only difference is you were in a masculine, aloof, more sterile and rigid version of yourself, more actively focused. And I feel like there was the caring of what other people thought. And then here, there's an internal inner fire that's lit where you are more connected to yourself. You're more connected with your passions and your desires. This feels more self-oriented, more feminine, more listening, more observational, observant. There we go. More observant. This is taking a good turn, Capricorn. Truly, I was beginning to kind of get, not worried, but kind of get down. All right, what emotional space is Capricorn moving into? This is the one that spoke to me. Service. And then this came out. Judgment came out. So this feels like something that needs to be counteracted. I was told that every negative thought requires at least 5 to 11 positive thoughts to overthrow it. So judgment was present for us twice in this one reading. Let's read it to see if this resonates with you. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So this feels like the need to let go. If this resonates with you, please let us know down in the comments below. This feels like something that needs to be let go. It came out face down, so it's like a thought that you're probably ashamed of. Maybe a thought that you're even judging. You're judging your judgment, which is just creating more dis-ease and discomfort within yourself. Embracing the fact that you judge is fine because it allows you to move out of that space and into a more desirable space. Somewhere where you're more accepting of your reality. Here with service, it says, I feel good when I help others. This is nice. A shift from being more self-focused to now caring about those around you, expressing more compassion, more empathy, being more in the heart space with the green in the card, the green flower of life. All right, let's see what what relationship space we're moving into. What relationship space? If a relationship was a room, what space will Capricorn be moving into? This feels like it. Ah, yes. Bring love into the situation. So I feel with this card that connecting with yourself. It's purple, giving me third eye chakra vibes. Connecting with yourself. Connecting with your intuition. Connecting with your inner sight. Seeing the beauty inside of yourself can alleviate this harsh feeling of judgment, which is also purple. This harsh feeling of judgment and criticism and shame and guilt. And it can allow you to open up your heart space. Open up that place that's locked away, that's maybe been locked away in a safe for some time. Open up your heart space and extend that love that you have towards yourself and others without feeling judgment towards that, without feeling bad, to not feeling vulnerable or small, or what's the word? It's at the tip of, without feeling weak because you care about yourself and then in turn about everybody else and the world around you. This is lovely, Capricorn. Please let us know down in the description box below if this resonated. If you have any, you don't even have to just if it resonated. If you have any comments, please comment down below. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would really help me out. It would also give me some insight. It would truly give me some insight as to how you're feeling, if this resonated or not. All right, we're going to leave it here. I will see you again in February. All right. In February, I kind of want to do something different, and I'm wondering if I should just have this discussion here or in February. We can just talk about it in February. So take care, Capricorn, and please be kind to your heart. All right. See you in the next video.